What's up, guys? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video. And today I'm coming at you with a new one, buying rare cards on a budget. How to hedge against this era of PSA pops skyrocketing. So it's something I've been reflecting on, something I've been talking about on the channel before, the impact that the PSA shutdown is going to have by that backlog being burned through. It's going to put a lot of slabs on the market, and I'm a firm believer that any card that's high pop, only going to increase in pop. I've been torn, though, on how to use this insight. And in this video, I'm going to go through the process of thinking about how to use that insight the best. Maybe should guide some of how you guys think through some of the insights you have, maybe this particular one especially. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, my original thinking on the issue of the glut of PSA slabs coming back on the market is that it's something I've discussed many times. It's that you want to be moving into numbered cards to hedge against that. The pops are finite. We know how many there are. Doesn't matter if PSA is churning out a ton of slabs. There are only so many graded copies, or so many numbered copies. But after I talked about it on the channel, after I thought about it a little bit more, something dawned on me. Something very obvious. Buying numbered cards is incredibly expensive. Particularly numbered rookies, which is the stuff I was interested in. Especially in like iconic main sets, well out of reach for me. I don't have that kind of money to be putting up. So you got to sell, right? And I'd imagine tons of you are in the same boat. It leaves us with kind of two real options of what to do if we want to act upon what we see with the glut of PSA slabs coming back. And we also have a finite bankroll. We don't have infinite money to be pouring into these key numbered rookies. So what are the two options? One, you could consolidate your collection so that you can pick up some key rookies, but in numbered form. So depending upon how much capital you have, this might not even be on the table just to cycle money from other cards into numbered parallels of key rookies. But I don't know if you're like me. I don't own a ton of any particular player. So I own probably more of LeBron than like anybody else. I got like that upper deck, this Bowman Chrome 9, this Prism 2012 Prism PSA 9. Let's see what else we got. Sweet Optic Hollow PSA 9. But that's about it. And that's certainly not enough to be rolling into like a nice numbered LeBron. It's nowhere near enough. So what does that mean? It means I got to sell stuff of other players. But, you know, I don't really like to do that. As someone who sees the value in diversification in a portfolio meant to achieve the highest risk-adjusted return, I'm very much opposed to having to eliminate my stakes in any players that I believe in. For example, Tom Brady. I have one card. An upper deck star rookie PSA 9. It's my only Tom Brady card. And say I was in search of a nicer LeBron. Well, that money would certainly go a long way towards helping me get a nicer LeBron. But if I sold that Tom Brady, I'd lose so much of my exposure to the football market. And I would lose my exposure to Tom Brady. My diversification goes down. And essentially, I don't want to do that because I think diversification is so powerful. It helps keep your values of your collection more stable, and I really believe in a portfolio approach to card investing. So what does that leave us with? Well, option one wasn't that appealing because even though we're going to get some numbered key rookies, we have to give up stakes in entire players. That's something that I don't want to do. It's something I'm not interested in. It's too much risk for me. I'm out on that. So what does that leave us with? Option two. It means targeting lesser rookies that are numbered or non-rookies with low pops. So basically being willing to focus not only on numbered copies of the most iconic stuff, but of lesser stuff. So this might sound kind of confusing, but I'm going to give you 3 examples right here to kind of show you how I've been acting this, how I've been living out this idea, and kind of why I'm a firm believer in the play. So first example, Zion Williamson. I didn't have to even dive that far off the beaten path for this one, but it shows that the path of pursuing rarity isn't always that hard. There's almost always affordable stuff that's semi-rare that can be in your price range. You just gotta look. So obviously, the go-to Zion, the Prism PSA 10, currently runs about $650, despite peaking at about $1,000 before the season. It's kind of a testament to what those rising pops can do, by the way. And as I've watched Zion perform at like a borderline MVP level recently, and not have those injury struggles I was so worried about before, he's become a buy in my opinion. Someone I wanted to have a stake in. And now was a chance for me. I was really interested. I wanted to get in. So that Prism, incredibly high pop. Even at 650, I didn't want it just because the pop is so high. I think there's so many at PSA that are going to come back. But I don't have the money to afford those out of 299s hobby red, out of 199 hobby blue. And I'm not overly interested in the hobby silver from Prism either, just because it's so high pop too, and that those pops are not finite, and there are thousands and thousands of them out there. Really high pop, too much for me. So I scoured the market for something close in price, but with more rarity. And what did I come up with? But this courtside PSA 9 Zion. So I know what you're thinking. It's not a PSA 10, it's a PSA 9, and it's not numbered, but they are pretty SP. So 2 courtsides a box, 100 courtsides in the set. So about 1 in 50 boxes will land you a Zion. Cost me about $900. Pop in a PSA 10 was $201. Pop in a 9, $77. So like $300 graded by PSA. It will never exceed like $1,000. I mean, which the silver is probably already over now. So just a nice little bit of a little bit more off the beaten path. And it may not be a numbered Prism. It may not be a set that's iconic as a numbered Prism, but it sure is a lot cheaper, and it's rare. And that's something that I wanted. I wanted a Zion that's rare. This fit the bill. That kind of makes sense, right? That you can get a rarer Zion and not have to shell out for a numbered Prism parallel. And I think it gives you some stability in your investment, that you don't have a ton of downside risk because of rising pops. Something I loved about this, and it's why I got into it. So we'll get into the next one here. It's going to be about LeBron. And you know what? If you're still with us, drop a like, drop a sub. I really appreciate all the support. Drop comment maybe even down there. I'd appreciate it. Let me know kind of how you're thinking about dealing with all these increasing PSA pops. Maybe what are the moves you're making? I'm interested to hear how other people think about the issue. But example 2, LeBron, kind of touched on earlier. Buying a numbered LeBron from a big set is way too much. In fact, even buying an SP LeBron rookie was out of my price range by a lot. So I went with this. A first edition Topps second year LeBron, PSA 9. The back centering on these is always screwed up, by the way. They don't even hit them that hard just because 2004 Topps and Topps Chrome, the centering was awful on the back. But you know what? Here it is. And it's not a rookie, but it's a first edition, so it's a low pop. 355 in PSA 9, 225 PSA 10, so it's not super low, not as low as a courtside would be. But you know what? It is LeBron, and it is a card with a much lower pop that I don't see the pop ballooning on when the slabs are coming back. I'm a little worried, I'm not going to lie to you guys, about the Topps Chrome. PSA 10s, PSA's heavily pop controlling right now, I would say. I don't think that's a hot take either. But the PSA 9, for example, LeBron rookie Topps Chrome, I think you could see a lot of those coming onto the market soon. But like something like this, you're not going to see the supply flooded as much. And the thinking here is that it's a cool photo, it's a low pop, and it's a major set. It's Topps, and it's second year. And you know what? As long as the hobby's alive and well, there are going to be demand for LeBron cards, right? There are going to be LeBron collectors who want some of these more rare cards, and it doesn't matter that it's not a rookie, they want it in their collection. And the fact that the pop is relatively low makes me feel good about downside risk. Like I said, a lot of these plays are about eliminating that downside risk by finding stuff that's lower pop. It helps you prevent having large exposure to the risk of all these PSA slabs hitting the market. And as long as there are LeBron collectors out there, they're going to be interested in stuff like this. This is a cool LeBron card. I mean, second year, first edition. It's definitely appealing to the LeBron collector, and that's I think something that matters a ton. When you're dealing in these low pop cards, you're looking at stuff that the collector wants to buy and the collector wants to hold. It's not so much about a flipper play, but I think as time goes on, this is the stuff that's lower pop that the collector has interest in, the stuff that's going to hold up. So even though it's not rookie year, even though it's not numbered, I think this is a viable play, and I think it's a really good one for LeBron in an era where I'm worried about so many of his cards increasing in pop. Finally, number 3, Kobe Bryant. So with Kobe, I wanted the same goal. I wanted to get some more Kobe, but those Topps and those Topps Chrome Kobe's are insanely high. I mean, the Topps especially, there are so many printed, and the Topps paper, already tons in the pop. And, the more I talk to some of my friends in the hobby, the more I just hear how many of those exist out there. So I didn't want to go, I already have one at PSA. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a cool card. I like it. I might keep it. But I don't want to go buying more strictly for investment. It's not what I want to do. The Pops, I'm really scared about how many are out at PSA right now. So I wanted something numbered. And this one is even more off the beaten path than the last two. My favorite one, super excited to show it. Boom. I don't know how many of you know what this is, but this is from the Kobe Bryant redemption packs. So like after he passed, obviously Panini couldn't fulfill his outstanding autograph redemptions for on-card autos or stickers. You know, there are only so many stickers left. They didn't exist. They made these packs that had 50 of these 50 Kobe cards like this, each with a different picture. Purple's numbered out of 20. This is a purple. Gold out of 8, and a 1 of 1. So this depicts the picture of him after the first championship with his first Larry O'Brien trophy. One finger in the air because he won trophy number 1. 17 out of 20. A Kobe Bryant, 17 out of 20 from such an iconic, I mean, these were to fulfill his last autographs that were not able to be fulfilled. I don't know. I think it's really cool. Super rare. I mean, not super rare when you consider that there are 50 images, but I think the more iconic images are definitely going to become coveted with time. It's something that there are a lot of Kobe collectors, and there just aren't a ton of these to feed the appetite. And if it was something that was insignificant in the hobby, an insignificant card, then I don't think it matters, right? That there aren't a ton of them. But this is a significant release that to fulfill his last autos that were not able to fulfill. They gave people packs, and that's where you pulled this card. I think it's hobby significant. I think it's collector significant. Perhaps I would say much more even than this LeBron, which I thought was collector significant. I don't know. And it's in my price range. It's in that sub $1,000 price range. And so, I mean, you know, I could have had maybe a PSA 8, maybe a 9, I don't know how much they run, of his Topps paper, or I could have had this. And you know what? I just went with this because the pop isn't going to go shooting up. I'm trying to be conservative, trying to prevent that exposure to rising pops, able to get a numbered parallel Kobe that's not just like a 2016 Prism Kobe numbered to 20, or a whatever. It's from an iconic release and with an iconic picture on it. To me, at least to me, I mean, maybe not like super iconic, but it's a notable picture, a lot better than some of the All-Star games. And you know what? This is going to have long-term collector demand, and there are tons of plays out there. This wasn't even on my radar for forever. But you know, you just spend some time thinking, spend some time digging around, you can find some really cool plays out there. So, summary, there's so much out there other than the main popular high pop rookies of GOATs that's numbered, that's SP, that's great to look at, and that can be in your price range. It can be affordable. So look off the beaten paths for some of that stuff. It can help you get into lower pop stuff of GOATs and, you know, not break the bank. You don't have to give up your diversification for it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, drop a sub. Let me know if you like this Kobe, by the way. I love this card. And anyways, I will catch y'all next time.